Hello everyone, my name is Agiar2000 and welcome back to American Truck Simulator Cupid's Express. Right, we are gonna get, I've already got a job in progress, delivering Valentine gifts from Bakersfield, California to Los Angeles, California. Let's see here. Yes, 39,683 pounds of Valentine gifts from AI Automotive in Bakersfield, California to Enterpriser in Los Angeles, California. So, that's what we're doing. Standard delivery. Just got well rested along this route. I'll kind of show you. Let's see. So I was coming east on California 58 here from Bakersfield, and I was going to turn right to go California 14 south to get to my destination over here. But I got tired, so I diverted, as you can see, in a winding sort of way, to continue east on California 58 to get to that rest stop. And now I'm fully rested, and I'm going to continue along this route, Interstate Highway 15 south, to get to Interstate Highway 10 west, and come into Enterpriser in Los Angeles. Now, you can see I've got my hanging decoration is the trucker rose from last year's Valentine's Day themed event. And I also have the neon rose dashboard decoration for completing my personal goal already on this event. So now I'm just focusing really hard on contributing as much as I can to the community goal, which is 600,000 deliveries of Valentine gifts by, I believe it's February 26th at 23:59 UTC, which I think is let's see, this is the 14th and it's a Friday, so the 21st is a Friday, so the 28th is a Friday, so that would make the 26th a Wednesday. So I think it's Wednesday, February 26th at 23:59 UTC. That, oops, I think I'm in this lane because I want to go I-10 west.
Keep left.
Yeah, so we've got, let's see, 1 week and
keep right.
5 days.
And then exit right.
To complete
Exit right.
the community goal. We're most of the way there already. I think last I checked we're over 400,000 deliveries completed out of the necessary 600,000. Let me check real quick. Yeah, we're up to 463,175 deliveries out of 600,000, and it ends Wednesday, the 26th of February at 23:59 UTC. I was correct. All right. so that's what we've got going on. That is my priority.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
Okay.
Keep left, and then turn left.
We are very close to...
Turn left.
We're very close to Enterpriser. Less than a mile now, according to the route advisor. I've made a few deliveries to this location already.
Keep left. You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
Where do you need it? Alright. Nothing too tricky. The strategy I've been using, I don't know if this is ideal or what, is I kind of aim for the spot with my tractor and then steer away until like my the rear of my trailer has cleared the spot by, I don't know, the width of the parking space, and then I just kind of, I don't know, eyeball it and try to get it in. Yeah, see, I didn't do a very good job this test. I mean, I don't really have to. It would accept that, but it looks terrible and I feel bad. So, I'm going to adjust. I want to do a good job. You know, almost as if it were real. Alright, I'd say that's close enough. Okay, we can take Valentine gifts from here to Enterpriser in San Diego, California. I haven't been to San Diego in a little bit. I've mostly just been going between Los Angeles and Bakersfield. So let's go to San Diego.
Let's go. arrive safe.
Okie dokie.
Turn right.
Let's take a look at our route, just for funsies. Alright, we're going to... I'm going to get to explore some new road segments. That's good. Let's see. Most of this route has already been covered. But we're going to hit a few new areas, new little spots. And there's San Diego. Okay, so we're taking Interstate Highway 10 to Interstate Highway 15 south, and that'll take us pretty much all the way there to California 15 south, and there we are.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right. Keep left. Turn left. Turn left. Keep left.
Exit 58B, I-15 south to San Diego. That's exactly what I want.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
I'm gonna keep it at 20 miles per hour until I finish this right turn. I haven't always been the safest driver in this game, and I want to fix that. So, I want to be better. I want to be the safest I can be. While still driving efficiently. So, as you have heard, I've been using the voice navigation. It's a feature I didn't know existed until recently when I just started browsing through all of the options in the game. There are many, many options, and I turned that on as well as the steering assistance. So like if I start to kind of drift out of the lane like this, it automatically like adjusts my steering to keep me in the lane. But it the problem with that is it overcorrects a little bit, so you can't just let it go and let it steer for you as long as you're staying in the one lane, because eventually it'll keep overcorrecting each time to the point where it overcorrects so much that you drift out of the lane anyway, and yeah, and so that can be dangerous. So it's really just there as a safety measure in case you happen to be, like, say, sometimes when I'm turning and also trying to change into the left lane, I'll be looking over here like this, and it'll be a little more difficult to steer, or, you know, there may be a lot of things going on and I'm trying to look in a different direction, and I might, you know, misjudge how much I need to steer while I'm not looking straight forward, and that can, yeah, so the steering assistance, whatever it's called, is very helpful for those little moments. Let's see. I also have automatic bright headlights. Like, I just keep the headlights on all the time, and I have the high beams set to on, and then with this other option I selected, I don't remember what it's called, but maybe something like automatic high beams, it makes it so that without me having to adjust anything, it automatically turns off the high beams when there are other vehicles close enough, and then automatically turns them back on like that when it's clear ahead of me. And I really like that feature. I frequently drive a car in real life that has that feature, and I love it. Let's see what else is going on here. Obviously I use cruise control. I fiddled with the controls, like mapping controls, back when they added a few options for mapping controls with, like, where you could hold one button and then tap another button to do a different function than either button by itself. And when that was the case, what I did was I made it so that I could adjust the cruise control speed, like up and down, well, actually just up, in order to, so that I wouldn't have to, like, exactly match the speed I wanted and then tap the X button on the controller to nail the cruise control speed I wanted exactly. Instead, what I can do is, oops, yeah, okay. My right trigger is my accelerator, and my X button.
Keep left.
My X button is my cruise control button, and what I do, whoops, is if I hold the right trigger and tap the X button, then it increases the cruise control by to the next multiple of 5 miles per hour. And so I can just, like, as soon as I hit 19 miles per hour, if I'm accelerating, then I can just continue to hold right trigger and tap the X button multiple times in order to reach the desired cruise control speed, and then just let the truck accelerate for me.
Keep left.
It would have been nice, perhaps, if that had been, a mapped function by default, rather than me having to figure out something like that for myself. But I did, and it works really well for me. I thought maybe I could do something similar, like with the left trigger, which is my brake, and the cruise control button, in order to slow down the cruise control by increments like that. But it didn't work because tapping the brakes automatically turns off cruise control. So that particular combination of buttons just doesn't work for that function. But doesn't really matter to me, because just being able to increase cruise control by 5 miles per hour at a button press is enough, because if I need to decrease it, then I just put the brakes until I'm at or below my target, and then if I'm below, I can just right trigger into X to increase
Right.
to the target.
And then turn right.
Oh, I'm turning right? Hang on a second. Okay, yeah, I am exiting here and then turning left. I didn't quite see that. And you might hear that ding sound sometimes. Oh, I could have exited in that other lane anyway. Probably should have. Anyway,
Keep left.
that
and then
ding
turn left.
sound, that is another optional feature that's not on by default.
Turn left.
I turned on. It's supposed to be a warning for obstacles in front of me, and it triggers if I'm like moving dangerously quickly towards either like a stationary object or a vehicle that's getting really close. And again, it's not really necessary, and sometimes it can even be a bit annoying because it can be a little bit overzealous.
Right.
But
and then turn right.
but I do a little overprotective it can be, but I like having extra safety features in place most of the time. There's also a feature that I turned on that's off by default that automatically applies it's supposed to automatically apply the brakes when you get really close to an obstacle to prevent you from running into it.
Turn right.
But it doesn't really do that when you're moving
Turn right.
like too fast, like on the highway or something. And what it tends to do is when you're moving closely
Finally, we are here.
in places like a parking lot like this, it will sometimes stop you while you're still a few feet away from an obstacle, and that can be a bit annoying because sometimes I really do want to get closer before I change directions. And also, when it does that, it turns on your hazard lights, and that's annoying too sometimes because I don't need my hazard lights on, and I can't turn them off without touching my keyboard. So that means I have to kind of let go of the controller and reach for the keyboard in order to turn them off. It's my F key to turn hazard lights, to toggle them. I better straighten that out now. There we go. Parking brake released. And there we go. Excellent. Let's see where we are on the goal. Community goal. We are at 464,761 deliveries. We've still got over 130,000 left to go. So let's get back to work. What I like to do is I like to sort by route length ascending so that I get the shortest routes I can get, and then I filter by searching for the string VALE. That's the shortest I need to spell out Valentine gifts, because if I do just VAL, then that may sometimes catch the company name Avalanche Steel, and I don't want that. So here we go. Enterpriser in San Diego to Enterpriser in Los Angeles. That's actually where I just came from. I just came from Enterpriser in Los Angeles, and now I'm going straight back. No problem by me. Let's get it done.
Pedal to the metal, man.
Okay. There it is, straight back. Alright. Here we go. And I like to see that we're actually taking a slightly different route out of here than we took into here, which is good for me because it means more of the road segments will be explored for me. See, that was it. I almost hit that car, so it automatically applied a little bit of a brake and turned on my hazard lights. So I just have to tap F on the keyboard and now we're back off.
Turn right.
I'm going to... I do also want to... I do also want to get 100% exploration.
Get ready to turn right.
Now, the only...
Turn right.
The only DLC that I have for this game is the Texas DLC. And even including Texas, I did at one point have 100.00% of the map explored. But then they released version 1.53,
keep right,
which included Phase 4 of the California rework, which I understand is the final phase of the California rework project, and that changed a lot of things in Southern California, which meant there were a lot of roads for me to explore once again. But let's see. I have a to-do list kind of in order of priority for this game. My first priority is to make sure I do as much as I can for the events. So, because those are time limited. I have to do whatever I can to help the community achieve the community goal for Cupid's Express by the end of the event, Wednesday, February 26th at 23:59 UTC. And after I've done that, I do want to double check and make sure there are no additional Steam achievements or World of Trucks achievements that were added with the most recent update. That included the Cupid's Express event. And then after that, I want to get back to exploring. I want to restore my map to 100.00% explored, and once that's done, I want to go back to taking external contracts, just the longest ones I can, so that I can maximize the total distance of external contracts that I've delivered. And the purpose of that is to get, I'm aiming for a World of Trucks achievement, which is Journey to the Moon. You get that by having completed external contracts, World of Trucks contracts, the total route length of which meets or exceeds the distance from the Earth to the Moon. And then after that, there is another achievement along the same lines called the Longest Journey, which requires that you get to 1,000,000 kilometers of total distance delivered on World of Trucks contracts. And that's going to take a very long time because that is even, that's more than double the length to the moon, and I'm not even halfway to the moon yet. So it's definitely going to be a long time for me to reach that. But I won't be, once I'm done with the event, I won't be focusing on American Truck Simulator exclusively like I am now. I'm only doing that now because of the time constraints for the event. But I have quite a few other games that I like to play. So I'll just kind of... American Truck Simulator will be in the rotation. I'll come back to it from time to time. And eventually, if I keep it up, I'll get there. And then the other goal I want to level up to level 100, which bears the title Divine Champion. I'm at level 72 now, I think. But of course, that doesn't mean I'm most of the way there in terms of experience points, because each successive level requires more experience points to reach than any of the previous ones. So, yeah, I don't know how long that is going to take, but it's another thing I want to do before I stop playing this game forever. That's basically it. I don't plan to get any future DLC or any of the DLC that is currently available. I just kind of want to get 100% of everything I can on what I've currently got, and do all the achievements and events that I can in the meantime. And then once I've done everything, which I would guess would probably take me years of real world time before I've completed all that, and then I'll put the game away forever. But for now, I'm enjoying it. It's nice and relaxing, and it's beautiful, and I enjoy getting better at the parking. Reverse parking with a trailer can be quite challenging at times, and it's really satisfying when you can get it just right. So that's good. I also have a few other decorations from the previous Return to Winterland event. As you can see on the dashboard, there's a sleigh, there's a stamp, there's a Christmas tree. On the passenger's seat, there is like a box of holiday-themed cookies or chocolates, some kind of sweet. And then in the back seat, there is a heart with wings, a little pillow, a little throw pillow in the shape of a heart with wings. And that is from that, like the hanging trucker rose that's hanging in the middle of the cabin. Those are both prizes from last year's Valentine's Day themed event. So I figured I'd keep those on for this event. Let's see, what are we doing here? Which lane do I want? 10 East or I-10 West? I want I-10 West.
Keep right.
Toward Los Angeles.
Then exit right.
That is correct.
Exit right.
So, let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Trying to think of any other non-default options I've put on this profile. Nothing else really comes to mind, but I will say I recently created a second profile, and the purpose for that was I found a bug a while back actually a couple of bugs during the Return to Winterland event, and
exit right.
When I was looking up how to report bugs to SCS software, they made a few. There was a good post on the SCS software forums that listed in great detail all the things that they would like to have. And one of the things they said was to make sure that you can reproduce the issue on a profile that has never had any mods on it, because even if it doesn't have any active mods, if it has ever had a mod on it, there is the possibility that the mod could have changed save data in such a way as to create an issue. And this profile has in the past had exactly one mod on it. It has no mods active, but the mod I used to have on it was one to help with. It changed the way the map was displayed to really highlight any unexplored sections. And that was something I used when I was trying to get 100.00% exploration on Texas, which is a very big state, and it's very wide, so it's kind of difficult to methodically look at every single road segment. So this mod I got turns all the explored. It reduces the number of icons on the road, so you don't have road segments cluttered up with various location icons. It greatly dims all of the roads that have already been explored to like a pretty dark gray, so that they don't stand out. And it changes the color of the unexplored road segments to a bold red so that they do stand out. And that really did help me. There were definitely quite a few things that I only saw that way that I did not see before. And once I got all the segments, once I found them all, I turned off that mod. And I strongly doubt that it would affect anything long term after deactivating it, but just to be 100% sure and to follow their instructions, whenever I submit a bug, I do it from my alternate profile that has never had a mod activated on it. And I try to keep things set to default as much as possible on that profile, just so that I, if I do run into any issues, I can kind of test whether it has something to do with my settings, as well as whether or not it has something to do with any mods. And that's come in handy. Well, there are a few issues I've had where that would definitely have come in handy. Like at one point I adjusted the braking power. There's a slider for how powerful the brakes are, and it's like default 100%, but it can go higher or lower. And I turned it up to like, oh really? Okay, so that post there is actually causing friction, even though you can see a little space there, but whatever. I'm gonna have to pull forward and adjust. Anyway, what I was saying was, I tried turning the braking power up because that seemed like it would be, convenient for being able to stop faster. But something weird happened when I did that. Sometimes when I hit the brakes, the engine would shut off. And sometimes when the engine shut off, it automatically applied heavy braking. And sometimes it would apply no braking until I turned the engine back on. So that certainly caused me some issues. And I didn't submit a bug report or anything, but I did do a little bit of research online and found that like some people were encountering that issue as a result of turning up the braking power. And I had changed a few other settings around the same time, so I didn't know until I read more that it could have been related to the braking power settings specifically. I could have done this parking job sooner, but I like to make it really good. I like to make it all even and precise. That makes me feel good. And ultimately, that's what games are for. to enjoy, to make you feel good, play whatever way makes you happy. And yes, it slows down my contributions to the... okay, so Bakersfield, California HMS Machinery. But yeah, as I was saying, it does slow down my contributions to the community goal a little bit, and we are on time constraints.
Let's do this.
But it only slows me down by a few seconds, maybe a minute per delivery. It's not a big deal. And ultimately, I decided that my satisfaction that comes from having everything be just right is worth more than that small amount of time. Right. That's also why, after completing the driving academy, I always apply the parking brake before attaching or detaching the trailer. Because, just because they said to do it, and it makes me feel a little bit more like I'm doing everything precisely right. So...
Turn right.
Now this bothers me a little bit. You can see the barrier to my left with those floating, like, hologram X's. And you can also see on the route advisor there's an unexplored road segment over there, but you can't get to it to explore it because of the barrier. So you're just kind of stuck with that. I hope that I can still hit 100%.
Recomputing.
Did that do it? I don't know. But I was going to say, I hope that I can still hit 100% exploration without that road segment. Otherwise, I'll have to submit a bug report or something. But I found that it is possible to get... oh, I did it! I did get it. I just had to rub right up against it in the right way. So, good. But yeah, I've also... There is a spot in Nevada near Las Vegas that is not accessible. I'm pretty sure there is no way without mods to mark that segment as explored. And that is... in fact, let me just show it to you. It is... Let me see... Right there. Oops. That little nub right there that's gray. There's no way to explore that I was able to see. I drove right up against that barrier, kind of all the way around it, trying to nick it somehow. Couldn't get it. But I still managed to get Nevada up to 100.00%. And I think that's just because there are so many tiny little pieces that you can actually get to like 99.995% of explored and not technically be at a true 100%, but then it like rounds up to 100%. So I think that's probably what happened there. I'm not aware of any other little tiny pieces offhand that are like that. So hopefully I don't encounter too many of those in California, but with Las Vegas, Nevada as one of the examples, I can see that even if I can't hit every tiny little piece, I can still get enough to do 100%. Right now, California's down to 78.63%. And I'm not doing everything I can to hit all the little side roads and everything just yet. You know, speaking of which, or speaking of the right turn I just made, I just did a right turn on red, which, if you're not familiar with traffic laws in the United States, is perfectly legal. If you're in the right lane and you want to turn into the right lane, and there's no traffic getting in your way, you can come to a full and complete stop at a red light, make sure there's no traffic, and then make a right turn from the right lane to the right lane. And sometimes when I do that in this game, most of the time I do that, it's fine. But every once in a while, I've tried to do that and I've gotten a red light violation.
And then turn left.
And had to pay a fine. And I don't mind paying the fine. After all, I've got $238.4 million. It's really the fact that it records a violation that bothers me a little bit, because I don't like getting penalties. I don't like that it shows I have had 4 traffic violations in the last 2 weeks, 2 of them red light violations. That would, I'd prefer, it's kind of like I was saying before about liking to keep things precise and perfect. I would find it pleasant if I could get that to 0. 0 violations of any kind in the last 2 weeks. But yeah, sometimes I get dinged for making a right turn on red. Now, in reality, there are indeed some intersections where you could turn right on red, except for the fact that there is a sign specifically prohibiting right turns on red on that intersection. But that wasn't the case sometimes that I've gotten the violation in this game. There was no sign saying I couldn't make a right turn on red. And, one of the things that has occurred to me sometimes about it was I thought, well, maybe it's because when I'm driving with this big trailer, I pull out forward into the intersection beyond the lane into which I am turning, so that before I turn right, so that I can pull the trailer along without cutting over the corner. But and so I thought, well, maybe it thinks that I'm about to go straight, and that's why that's why it dinged me, is it thought I was going straight through a red light instead of turning right. But last time I got a red light violation, I was turning right, and I kept within the range of that lane to which I was turning. I did not pull all the way out into the intersection, and it still gave me a red light violation. So, I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'm still going to keep turning right on red when it's appropriate, even if I'm risking a violation, just because I don't want to waste time trying to accommodate an excessive violation system. I will slow down and stop and do things the extra safe way for rules that actually make sense, or recommended safety speeds and things like that. But I'm not going to, but if I ought to be able to turn right on red, I'm going to go ahead and turn right on red. And I'll just have to accept it if it gives me an unjust violation. Now here's something else that I find kind of interesting. So there is this truck route only on the right and the regular car route on the left. So I believe I am required to go right here because I'm driving a truck. And on the route advisor, it looks like the road to the left just ends. But you can see that it keeps going, and there's no visible barrier preventing it. Like, sometimes when there are roads that are blocked off for the sake of the game, they'll have those hovering holographic, like, white and yellow X's. No such thing over there, which makes me wonder if it's like a secret route. Like, maybe if you drive that way, because there are some unmarked roads in the game where they're not marked on the map initially, but if you drive down them, they will appear on the map as a dashed yellow line. So maybe it's something like that, but I don't think those hidden routes apply towards your exploration percentage. And I hope they don't, because they'd be really hard to find when you're not, they're only easy to find incidentally when you happen to be right there. But poring over the map when you're, just looking for any sort of place, I don't know how I'd find hidden routes like that. I'd probably have to, search the internet for any, extremely complete, unabridged exploration maps and see if anybody, has kept a record of the locations of all of the hidden routes or something like that. And I don't want to go through all that extra trouble. Now, I have found some fun little Easter eggs trying to explore absolutely everything. There was a sign I found down one obscure little side road that listed a telephone number that was a reference to an old comedy sitcom from the UK called The IT Crowd. It was their new emergency services number, 0118-9999-88199-9119725-3. And then, let's see, another one I found, I don't remember where it was, I don't remember where either of these was, but there was a little side dirt road that was not blocked off, and it was not marked on the route advisor. But, so I drove down it. It, indicated a dashed hidden road on my route advisor, and I got to a road closure where there was a sign saying road closed, but then there was another side road off to the left, so I went that way, and then I kept going, and I kept getting additional signs and additional side roads that were increasingly obscure, and the signs were started getting a little cheeky, there's nothing here really, or something like that. Stop going this way. And then at one point there was a tree that was down and blocking the road, and I had to find a little dirt route around the tree that was really hard to find. It took me a while to identify it, and once I did that, I think I got to a caution road sign that just said, "Really?" And that was pretty fun. So I like that. I like when, even in a pretty serious game like this, every once in a while you find little jokes like that. It's very nice. Let's see. Another thing I've done in this game is I take pictures. Well, I have taken pictures. I don't do it much anymore. But the main reason I did it, there are, my profile on this game is connected to a World of Trucks account. Both of my profiles, actually, on this game are connected to the same World of Trucks account. So it's cool that you get to do that. You can, relate multiple profiles to one account. But anyway, World of Trucks has its own set of achievements, completely distinct from Steam achievements. And there are several World of Trucks achievements that have to do with the images that you take and getting positive feedback on your images. So there's one for getting a certain number of views and there's one for getting a certain number of likes, and there's one for getting a certain number of favorites. And there are occasionally, I think every day or so, someone working with World of Trucks makes a set of editors' picks, as in PICKS, like the editors pick a set of images from the community to feature on the front page, and those always get tons of likes and favorites and everything. Getting one of your images to editor's pick might be enough to get all of the image-related achievements on World of Trucks, I think. But I had a hard time figuring out how to get a really good image, because all of them seem kind of samey to me. They all, they're all basically good. Of course, they're well framed. They feature a truck prominently, and that's kind of it. But but there are just tons and tons of images that meet that description, and I couldn't tell why some of them were very popular and others, like most of the ones I made, were, got basically no attention at all. And eventually I figured out that it has nothing to do with how good your pictures are. It is a social game. You have to go on to other people's profiles, look at their public pictures, like them, favorite them, and most importantly, comment on them, indicating that you have done so. And then people will reciprocate of their own, volition. They'll look at. I think what they're doing is, because this is what I do now, is they'll look at their comments and then go to the profiles of the people who have commented on their images, and then like and favorite those images. So it's all about helping one another and reciprocating that help. And with that in mind, I was in fact finally able to get all those achievements that I was looking for, all the ones related to images. There was also one I think that you get for liking enough other images, and that one was of course very easy to get all by myself. Alright, let's do this. Now this kind of structure, sometimes you can back in and sometimes you can nose in. And nosing in is of course always easier if possible, but some bays in this kind of building are not possible to nose into. Like, that one looks like you might be able to nose in, but that door on the other side is too low. The top of my truck cannot clear that. So I do have to actually reverse in like this. Of course, it's going to be pretty tricky because it's very narrow there. I have to get through this opening first, and there's not a ton of space right in front of the opening for me to maneuver and straighten everything out, but it's not the worst. I've definitely done tougher parking jobs than this, so let me just... Yeah, I need to adjust this. Of course, they put that little barrier right there to my right to make it just a little bit tougher. I need to nudge this to my driver's right here. And then get back over to my left to straighten it out before I get into this spot. Okay, that looks really good to me. Just gotta straighten it out a bit. And back here. I like that very much. Okay. Let's see, what's next? Nothing, no Valentine gifts from HMS Machinery here. So I'll have to look elsewhere in Bakersfield, California. Chemso Limited, back to Los Angeles, but this time to Venture. I haven't delivered to Venture in a while. I don't remember where exactly in Los Angeles that is.
Now go.
Let me actually just check something here. Okay, so that's the starting point. I was confused for a moment. Where is Venture in Los Angeles? Okay, there it is. I see the red flag. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have definitely not been there. Not to that specific Venture location. So that'll be neat. I'll get a little bit more exploration done.
Turn left.
Okay.
Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
Okay. Let's see. 16 miles to Chemso Limited. So one of the reasons I got the Texas DLC, it was actually I think it was well, I don't remember for what occasion, but it was a gift to me from my wife, and the reason I wanted the Texas DLC specifically was because I am originally from Texas, and that's in fact where she and I met, and so I was able to drive around some familiar places with the Texas DLC, which was not available when I first got American Truck Simulator. So I was actually pretty excited and put it on my wish list on Steam when it came out. But yeah,
Keep right, and then turn right.
I've heard good things about how accurate
Turn right.
A lot of the areas in this game are, how well they depict the real areas on which the in-game areas are based. But I couldn't really confirm it myself until I actually got the Texas DLC and started driving around and exploring familiar cities there. And I was really pleased. I was impressed with, while I was driving through Huntsville, which is one of the places in Texas I used to live, I was able to see, that's where I would exit if I were going to the, recycling facility, or oh, that's where I would go if I were going to Sam Houston State University. And, oh, here, the Walbert, that's where in the real world there's a Walmart. And the Taco Kingdom, that's where in the real world there's a Taco Bell. And yeah, so like clearly they did their homework and they kept it true as much as they could to the reality. Let's see, next checkpoint. So 38 minutes to go there, or 29 minutes to go there. Excellent. Let's go to that rest stop, that truck dealership, so that we can not only get a little bit more exploration done, but also get the rest that we badly need
Let's
right
go.
now. Next rest stop in 1 hour and 57
Keep right,
minutes.
and then turn right.
So
Keep
I'm actually
left,
going to be
and
turning
then turn left.
left now instead of right, because I want to rest before I pick up the Valentine gifts
Turn
from
left.
Chem So Limited. I wonder what brand of dealership we will find. Let's see. Yeah, the truck I'm currently using, the base model of it is the Volvo VNL 2014. And I picked that model because when I was first starting the game, the first, I guess, dealership I checked, or whatever first set of trucks I found from which I chose, this was the cheapest. And so I figured it was the best place to start. But then I just kept upgrading it and upgrading it and upgrading it, so it's worth far more now than it was when I first got it. I've upgraded every part of it: the cabin, the chassis, the engine, the transmission,
Go straight.
all the, just everything. So yeah, I've considered the possibility of getting a different truck, a different model, and upgrading that all the way and seeing, what it's like just to try it. But I haven't done that, and now it would be actually kind of difficult for me
Go straight.
because I don't have room for any more trucks. I have every garage that is available in the base game plus Texas DLC, and I have
Go straight.
I have upgraded
keep
every
right.
garage to large, and I have filled
Keep
all
right,
5
and then
slots
turn right.
in all of the garages
Turn
with
right.
a hired
Go
driver
straight.
and a truck for them. Which is why I have so much money, because I constantly have employees doing jobs for me. Which makes me a bit of an evil capitalist, because I'm extracting the surplus value of their labor far beyond anything I would ever need for myself, and just hoarding it. But thankfully, they're not real people, and they don't really need any money because of that. They're just, objects that work for me and produce money for me, and occasionally expenses. But yeah, because everything is completely full like that,
Go straight.
in order for me to try a different truck, I believe I would first need to fire one of my employees so that I could then either take the truck that I had assigned to them, or sell the truck and buy a different one, whichever I wanted. But I don't want to fire any of my employees because they gain skills by working for me, and that's another thing that, while I'm not going to require of myself that all of them max out all of their skills before I consider the game 100% complete, I don't want to just throw away skills. I'd prefer to keep developing them. I'd rather that than have the opportunity to change trucks. I'm fine with this truck, so I think I'll just stick with it forever. It has all the features I need. I'm not aware of what I'm missing out on with other models. There is another model. I don't remember which one, but I have a different model for... I think it's probably a different make, too, for my alternate never modded profile. And I don't like that one very much, just because of the dashboard and display options are more limited. It has like an old style dial for the speedometer and for other indicators instead of a digital display like I have here. So I can't see like exactly what my cruise control is set at and other stuff like that. Time to rest. That's what I'm here for. I almost forgot. Okay. Oops, wrong way. I have to back out this way. I don't remember what the interior of this truck looked like when I first got it, so for all I know, it may be possible to upgrade the interior displays of the truck after you bought it, but I don't think I'm going to bother experimenting to figure that out, because I don't really feel like going through the trouble of trying to upgrade things on my alternate profile unless I really have to in order to test a bug. Oh yeah, speaking of trains, I did an experiment one time. I managed to get on the tracks while the train was coming to see what would happen. And I was a little disappointed, but basically the train stops for you. It won't hit you if you're in its way, which, you know, I get why they would do that, because it's a lot simpler than trying to program the train and the truck colliding and like what that would do to your truck, because they don't have deformities in this game. Hitting something just increases a damage indicator on your truck. It doesn't actually cause the truck's shape to change in any way. And yeah, even if a train hitting your truck just jumped the damage up to 100%, there's still the question of the physics of these two non-deformable objects. Like, does the train just push your truck all the way to the edge of, you know, the navigable part of the map? What then? Does the train stop because it can't push your truck any further and your truck is still in the way, or whatever? So I can see that being a bit of a tricky question to solve, so I understand why they probably just decided the best thing to do is just to make the truck stop for you. So, still in Bakersfield. What are we doing? We are carrying Valentine gifts, I know that. I think we're going to Venture in Los Angeles.
Go straight.
I don't remember where we're coming from. I think we just came from Chemso Limited in Bakersfield. I think that's right. Let me double check. Yes, I was right. Chemso Limited in Bakersfield to Venture in Los Angeles. And I remember checking and confirming that the Venture location that is our destination is one I have not visited before. It's part of the Phase 4 final phase of the California Rework project. So this morning I had breakfast at Cracker Barrel. I normally love the food that they have. I especially like their pancakes. Their pancakes are the best restaurant pancakes I have ever had anywhere. They just have a unique flavor that's not too, I want to say, bitter. Like some of the other buttermilk pancakes I've had from other restaurants have a weirdly, almost slightly bitter taste to them. I wonder if like there's just more butter in the batter for Cracker Barrel pancakes. I'm not sure, but whatever their recipe is, it's absolutely fantastic. But I would say this morning was the worst, the worst Cracker Barrel experience I've ever had. I ordered my bacon extra crispy, which I usually do,
and then turn left.
Because I like my bacon like completely crispy throughout. I know a lot of people don't like it like that, and that's fine. Different people like different things, but I like it to just snap off. I don't like it chewy or anything like that. And and then they gave me limp bacon and asked me if there was, do you need anything else right now? And I was like, I'd like my bacon extra crispy, please. And the waiter said he'd come back with a small plate for me to put the bacon on, and they would cook it some more. The previous time I went to Cracker Barrel, they did the same sort of thing where
turn left.
They gave me limp bacon. I sent it back, on a little plate. But the time before this last time, they brought it back and it was extremely crispy. It was perfect. I loved it. But this time, they came back and it was only slightly more cooked than it was before. It was still chewy, and on top of all that, it was just sitting in a pool of grease on the little plate, just dripping, literally dripping with grease. And I found that gross. I did not like that at all. And
go straight.
So I had one bite of the bacon, and that was it. They also gave me 2 buttermilk pancakes and 1 chocolate chip pancake when I actually ordered just the normal buttermilk pancakes. And I don't know why they got that confused. I think they must have somehow gotten my wife's and my plate mixed up, because she ordered chocolate chip pancakes.
Do you even listen to me?
That's the voice telling me to slow down because I was speeding. But anyway, my she ordered chocolate chip pancakes, but she only got a single pancake.
Go straight.
When she was supposed to get 2. And I was supposed to get 3 buttermilk, and I got 2 buttermilk and a chocolate chip. So it was all mixed up, and I just ended up not eating all of it. But I gotta say, the 2 buttermilk pancakes that I did order and have and receive were very, very good, as always. So at least there's that. And of course, our server was polite, and he got a generous tip, as always, because I know none of the problems were his fault. And the other problem we had, aside from all the problems with getting stuff from the kitchen, was we went there before, in the morning before I needed to drop my wife off at work. Well, originally the plan was we were going to go out to breakfast, come back home, and then my wife was going to leave for work later because she works in the afternoons. But we ended up waiting an hour for our food. So in the end, we couldn't go home together. I had to just go ahead and drive from Cracker Barrel to her place of work to drop her off, and then drive myself home, and then I'm gonna have to go and pick her up from work later tonight. So, yeah, just unusual, because
Go straight.
Every other experience I'd had in terms of the food and the service at Cracker Barrel has been just perfect, except these last 2 times, and especially this last time. So, I don't know. It's probably just this one location nearest me. Maybe they got somebody new doing the bacon. And they were surprisingly busy for late morning on a Friday. I mean, I know it's Valentine's Day, but I figured most people would still be working and wouldn't do a late Valentine's Day breakfast. I guess a lot of people were doing. It's more like what I would expect on, say, a Sunday.
Keep left, and then
But
turn left.
Whatever. It wasn't so busy that we had to
Turn
wait for
left.
our name to be called. The place was full, but we were still able to be seated right away, so that was nice at least. By the time we left, around noonish, I know there were some people who were waiting for their name to be called. So it got even busier over the course of the time we spent there. Man, I shouldn't have brought that up. Now I'm getting hungry. May have to do something about that.
Please make a U-turn when possible.
That's weird that he says it like that. Anyway, I'm not making a U-turn. I'm making a left turn.
We're here. Right on time.
There's my trailer. I almost forgot this whole time I was just getting to my trailer. Not even on the delivery, making the delivery part yet. I wasn't even transporting my cargo yet. Took a little while to get to Chemso Limited from wherever I just was.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I can't...
Make a U-turn now.
Yeah, that makes more sense. That's kind of what I need to do here, except I'm making a right turn. A right U-turn? I don't know.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Okay.
Turn right.
Okay. Let's see. What else should I discuss?
Go straight.
Nebraska is coming. Mohawk Street. Grocery. Johnson Company. All these very generic sounding companies. Most of the companies, even the ones that don't have deliveries associated with them, but most of the companies in American Truck Simulator have distinctive names. They're not that generic sounding, like Johnson Company and Grocery. They'll have names like Walbert and Taco Kingdom and Coffee Break. Stuff like that you might actually see in real life. If
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
Here we go, onto the freeway. You know, I don't know what, if any, the difference is between a highway and a freeway. I don't know if those are just synonyms or if there's some kind of technical distinction. I was just thinking about the night sky in American Truck Simulator. It's, it's a little cloudy. I don't know where the moon is, but I remember when they added the moon. I didn't even notice that there wasn't a moon in the game for a long time, but it was relatively recently, like maybe, I don't know, a year ago or something. They released an update that added the moon, and, at first glance, one might think that it's a very simple thing, like you just stick a PNG of a moon into the sky and that's it. But it's not so simple. They like any good simulator game, the folks at SCS Software really did their best to simulate it in an accurate way, which means they got the phases of the moon to change from night to night. And I think they even considered the extent to which moonlight would illuminate the environment. So I don't know, but I would not be surprised if they also did something with the constellations, to make sure that the moon traveled through the night sky over the course of a 28-day period in a realistic fashion. I've never really paid any attention to the stars in the sky in American Truck Simulator, so I don't know if they're actually, accurate to the stars, to the constellations around Earth. I would hope so. But, it would have been absolutely no big deal if they just kind of created a random spattering of stars of random brightness. I wouldn't have cared. But now that they added the moon, I kind of care a little. Not enough to actually look up and check, but it's a really interesting thing that they decided to do with adding the moon. Because, it doesn't really pertain to the subject of trucking. It's not like anybody, it's not like old-timey shipping from 300 years ago. Nobody's navigating their truck by the stars and the moon or relying on moonlight to see at night on the night of a full moon. It's just a neat little side project, I guess, somebody did. I wonder whose idea it was. I'm not complaining. I like it. I think it's a good addition. I just wonder why somebody thought it was worth the effort to make the moon in American Truck Simulator. Because I can imagine if you wanted something like that, it being kind of hard to push for it. Given, like I said, it doesn't apply directly to the subject of trucking.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
I guess what might be the most likely explanation is, I don't know if this is the most likely, but one possible explanation that comes to mind is maybe somebody, one of the fans specifically asked for it, and maybe after they did, somebody else, seconded the motion, as it were, and, agreed publicly that they would like the moon to be there, and so, folks at SCS Software decided, sure, why not? Shouldn't be too tricky. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how or why that became a thing. But it's cool that we have it. I remember the day it came out, the moon update. There were several photographs, or images, I should say, on World of Trucks, on people's profiles, showing off, their truck with the moon in the background. I thought that was pretty cool. It showed that people really appreciated it, even though it was such a minor, sort of incidental thing. Speaking of minor incidental things, I remember with the most recent major update, I believe they added sliding tandems, and whereas before you could only place the rear axle of your trailer in one of two or very few discrete positions, they changed it so you can slide it from, along whatever range, to distribute the weight, I guess, however you want to. And I didn't know anything about tandems, sliding or otherwise. I never, when I play this game, I have not, in a long time, played with my own trailer.
Keep right, and then turn right.
And I have no intention to do so. And the reason for that is,
Turn right.
when I found that when I did play with my own trailer, I did not get... what do I want to do at this exit? I do want to exit, okay. I do not get much more money for the delivery for providing my own trailer, and my
right,
choices
and then exit right.
for deliveries are much more limited when I have a specific trailer
Exit
type
right.
than when I have no trailer at all. So I made more money by just going
Get ready to turn
without
right.
a trailer and picking up trailers from the senders.
Turn right.
And while I don't care about the money anymore, I still don't really see any value in messing around with my own trailer. It's kind of extra work
Keep left, and then turn left.
for no benefit. Obviously, if you
Turn
enjoy
left.
playing with trailers, that's the whole point. A lot of people enjoy playing with trucks, and that's why this game exists. But yeah, I didn't, I just wasn't as interested
Get ready
really
to turn left.
in the trailer aspect. And I suspect the whole sliding tandems thing
Turn left.
relates specifically to trailers that the player
Good driving.
owns. So that's likely why I never knew anything about it. Oh, this is going to be tricky. 'Cause the position in front of the space is blocked by those dumpsters, and to the side you have that barrier, those barriers, and that ramp means you gotta really be going straight on it. This is going to be difficult. But yeah, about the sliding tandems, like I said, it wasn't something that concerned me at all. I was completely, didn't care about it. But when I looked at the comments on the patch release notes, oh geez, this is bad. Nope, can't do it like that. Because of that darn barrier. Anyway, as I was saying, when I looked at the patch notes... see, that was the automatic brake. Look how far away I am from that trailer. I was needlessly aggressive. No need to stop me this far away from it. Anyway, when I looked at the comments on the patch notes for the patch that released the sliding tandems, I was kind of surprised to see, there were so many people who were really excited about sliding tandems. And even one person who, complained that it wasn't, super duper accurate in some way. I don't remember. Oh, God, this is so tricky and nitpicky. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I know I'll figure it out. Or, I'll work it out. I'll eventually, just by going back and forth, I'll eventually get it in, because that's what always happens with me. But it is really frustrating that I don't know what the rule of thumb is, what the, how I'm supposed to get into position and to know that I'm in the right position. I just don't get it. Maybe if I go far enough away, that'll give me enough room to turn and turn back. I don't know. God. This is so frustrating. I wish I had some clue what I'm doing wrong or how to fix it. But I don't. I have no idea. All I know how to do is just keep going back and forth, just hoping that the next time it works out better somehow. Jeez. Think I got it. Just about. Just need to straighten it out a little bit. Oh my God. I know it turned green, but I still didn't like it. I wasn't straight. There we go. That should do it. That looks just about perfect to me. Ah, finally. Okay. HMS in San Diego.
Drive safe.
Let me take a look at the map here. Ah, another new location for me. I've been to other HMS Machinery locations, but not to the one in San Diego, apparently. So that'll be nice.
Let's go.
Okay. HMS Machinery in San Diego, California. Here we come.
Turn right. Get ready to turn right.
There's coffee break.
Turn right.
Let me take a look at what my route will be. I'm going to take I-10 East. To I-5 South. Yeah, that's all new road for me. To I-8 East. To California 15 South. To San Diego. To HMS Machinery. Alright. I was thinking about fatigue, fuel, and damage and wear on the truck, like truck condition, I guess you could say. I have to in this event, the Cupid's Express event, I do have to keep those things in mind, and occasionally, and
Keep right, and then turn right.
I do occasionally need to stop and rest or refuel.
Turn right.
Or on rarer occasions, go to service to replace worn tires, other parts. And the reason I bring that up is because I didn't have to do that in the Return to Winterland event, and I also don't think I needed to do that in the Christmas Winterland event from the previous year. And that's because in these Winterland events, they
Keep right.
you were delivering to and from a set of locations in a separate realm outside of America and Europe. You were delivering to and from this world called Winterland, and you would use like magical portals to travel between Winterland and the rest of the normal part of the game. And incidentally,
Keep left.
for whatever reason, every time you traveled through a portal, your all of the damage that your truck took and any wear on any part other than the tires was repaired, and so basically every part was replaced except the tires, and the tires were repaired. And then
Keep
you'd
left.
also get your fuel tank completely refilled, and your fatigue would empty so that your next rest stop was 14 hours away. And that would happen every time you used a portal. So, and the deliveries were always short enough that you never needed to deal with any of those things as long as you were consistently doing jobs for that event. And I suspect that the reason they made the portals take care of you that way was because there were no facilities in Winterland. There were just the 5 companies. There was no filling station, no service station, and no rest stop in Winterland. Although, I mean, actually, technically, you can rest in Winterland. It's just not obvious because, one, you never need to, because you'll never, unless you intentionally waste a bunch of time there, you're not going to get tired in the amount of time that it takes you to go from a portal to a company to pick up a trailer and then back to a portal, and get your fatigue restored that way. The other reason you're not going to notice that you can rest in Winterland is there are no rest stop icons anywhere on the map. But the portal locations, there are 4 portal locations in Winterland. I guess I should say were, because you can't access Winterland anymore because the event has ended. But yeah, there were 4
Keep
portal
left.
locations, and if you stopped on one of those portal locations and pressed the button to interact with it, in my case the A button, after turning off the engine, if you had no trailer, or if you had an outgoing trailer, it would send you out. It would transport you back to America.
Keep right.
But
and then turn right.
I believe if you had an incoming trailer, like if you had just come in with a delivery bound for a location in Winterland, and then, pressed A again while you were still at the portal location, it would have you rest instead of traveling back through the portal. And I think the reason that happens is because I think they sort of linked in the game mechanics the concept of a rest stop and a Winterland portal. I think they're kind of... Manny, sup, man? Good to see you. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Keep left.
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, I was going to say, I think the rest stops and Winterland portals are kind of linked, such that, especially, like, you can see on the America side of things, every Winterland portal was at one point a rest stop, and it just got kind of converted into a Winterland portal when you had a Winterland-bound trailer.
Right. And then exit right.
Is this the old version? No, this is the current version of the game. Or the new version.
Right.
This is the current version of American Truck Simulator, version 1.53. Specifically, it is... I don't see the version number here, but it's the current version. I wouldn't even know how to play an old version. But yeah, speaking of Winterland portals and rest stops being kind of the same thing, I ran into a bug while I was playing the Return to Winterland event where there was a specific portal just west of Austin, Texas, on the north side of, I forget what highway, or at least there was supposed to be a portal. It was like in a little dirt parking lot in front of a couple of small houses next to a mailbox, and you could see the portal on the map, and you could get there and see the sparkles that indicated the presence of a portal, but when you stopped, but there was no prompt when you stopped there to turn off the engine. And if you did turn off the engine, there was no prompt to press A to travel to Winterland, and if you did press A, nothing happened. And I double-checked and found out that even when I wasn't bound for Winterland, that spot had an icon on the map indicating it was a rest stop. And again, it didn't work. If I went there, same thing. No prompt to turn off the engine, no prompt to rest, and pressing the button didn't cause me to rest. I think that's happened before too. I've seen like other rest stops or
and then turn right.
spots that are indicated on the map as rest stops, but then they don't function as rest stops at all. So
turn right.
I haven't seen it recently, so I haven't submitted a bug about it or anything. But now that I know more about how to submit bugs, and I've done it a couple of times, I think if I do run into another malfunctioning rest stop, I'll probably go ahead and report it. Yeah. Reporting a bug in this game, I found, is more than just, it's more complicated than just going to like Steam community and making
Keep left.
a post
Turn left.
on the forums complaining about it. You have to like, there's SCS forums. There's a
Turn
specific
left.
bugs topic, or rather, like section of topics, and then within that there are separate sections for all of the versions, like all the different minor versions. So currently you'd go to 1.53, and then when you make your post, you need to first you need, before you you need to sort of record something, in a sense, not like visual recording like I'm doing now. That can help, but it's not necessary. What you need to do is like go into some configuration settings in like a text file in your game files to turn on debug mode, or to activate whatever kind of data gathering it needs. And then you need to go into a profile that has never been modded, never had any active mods, recreate the issue, and then there's also like I forget what the key combination is, but there's some kind of key combination that takes a snapshot. Optionally, it also takes a literal like snapshot of a screenshot, but it can at the bare minimum it takes a timestamp and a location, an exact location stamp of where you are, and saves that to an error file. Come on, bus. I had a green light. It wasn't your turn. Anyway, and then when you're done,
turn right.
Like reproducing the issue, there's like a game.txt and an error.log file or something like that you need to find in your game files, that you need to attach.
It's all over now.
To the forum post that you submit, so that they know, so that they know exactly where it is, and can reach it in their editor, since the developers don't like access the game in the same way that players do. So having those precise coordinates is very helpful for them. Much more helpful than just, giving them a screenshot of a map indicator. And then one thing I noticed that was not obvious at first, took me some time to figure out, was oops, I need to go a little farther. I tried to attach screenshots, but by default, the screenshots I took were too big. And what's weird to me about it is that the forum system indicates that there's like a maximum file size of, I don't know what it was, let's say it was 10 megabytes. And my pictures were well within that limit that was specified. And when I tried to upload them, I don't remember even getting a specific error message. It certainly didn't tell me that my pictures were too big. It just failed. It gave me like an HTTP error or something. Oops, it looks like I shoved a barrel out of the way back there, but no matter. Anyway, I only found out that my files were too big by experimenting with other images and image formats and stuff. I found that if I decreased the quality significantly of the images and got it down to like 0.5 megabyte or something, then it worked fine. So that's kind of a problem, that the limit that they say exists is not the limit that's actually in place. and when you exceed the actual limit, you don't get an appropriate error message indicating as such. But that's another thing to be aware of if you ever want to do a bug submission. They also give you, like, tell you a few other details they want, like exact version number and what platform you're on, like Windows version, whatever. And so I made sure to do all of that. And also, in addition to that, looks like there are no Valentine gift deliveries from HMS Machinery here in San Diego, California. So we'll have to look more broadly within San Diego, California. And here we are, something from Enterpriser for rail export in Los Angeles. Let's do that. But yeah, as I was going to say, in addition to all the things they specifically request, I also go ahead and record and edit a short YouTube video demonstrating each of my bug reports. And, I just try and keep it very short and sweet, quick and to the point. Just demonstrate exactly what the issue is, what my version number is, what DLC I have, the fact that I have no mods enabled, and I make it an unlisted video because it's not really for my subscribers to enjoy. It's really just there for the SCS software support team to examine, or anyone else on the forums who happens to be interested. Oops.
Turn left.
Hey, we're getting another little bit of new exploration here. Just on the short little... Once we pick up the trailer at Enterpriser, I'm going to take another look at the route to our destination. I can't remember what our destination even is. Los Angeles, California. Rail export in Los Angeles, California. Unfortunately, I remember what the parking lot is like in rail export. It is nasty. You have to do like a I don't know how to describe it. Like a 180 degree turn while backing up with a trailer around a tight corner that gives you very little space to maneuver. It's probably the most difficult parking job that exists in the regular game. And I qualify it by saying in the regular game because I think there's an even tougher parking job at I think it's called Marigold's in the chocolate factory in Winterland. But of course that's part of an event that's not going on right now, so you can't access it. But in that event there was a location that I think was called Marigold's Chocolate Factory, and it was a large building, and in the back of the building there was a parallel parking job that was strictly, like, it was tight on the left, on the right, and in the front. You had to do like the most precise backing it in while also
turn right.
Shifting to the side to parallel park. I don't think I ever managed to get it perfectly straight trying to do that because, it's extremely tight behind, to the left, to the right, and in the front. There's no maneuverability at all. I'm amazed I ever managed to pull it off at all, and disappointed that I could never get it to look good in the end. That's what I would say is probably the hardest parking job that I've ever seen in the game. Well, that's not true. There was a previous version that had a parking job that I think was just about impossible, with an articulated, like, not a double trailer, but an articulated joint connecting the tractor to the trailer. So it was, so reversing with it was just about impossible to control. It was, it was like a double jointed kind of connection. I don't really know how else to how to properly describe it, because if you haven't experienced it, it's what I'm saying probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But there was a job that where do you need it, parking option required me to back it into a spot on the side of a road, kind of parallel park it, and there was just no way I could get it to line up. Whatever I did, I never did manage to make it. I ended up finally having to just skip parking. That was the only time I ever skipped parking. But since then, I've never run into that. And that was years ago, I think. Since then, I think the hardest parking job I've encountered, the hardest parking job I've encountered in the current version, certainly, is the one to which we are currently driving. What is it called? Rail Express? Rail Export. That was close. Rail Export in Los Angeles, California. And you'll be able to see more of what I mean when we get there. What's our route like? Ah, yes, more good exploration spot segments here. I'm glad for that. Ooh, and I'll have a photo opportunity when I get up here. I need to try and keep an eye on that. I don't want to miss out on that. I think there was another area that I could have taken. Oh no, I was thinking of that. Never mind. I'll get that when I'm dedicating myself to exploring. But I can, when I pass by that photo opportunity, or what it's called. What is it called? Photo trophy, not captured. When I pass by that photo trophy, I might as well get it.
Keep left.
I want to make sure I know where it is so I don't miss it. Oh, there's another one over there, but I'll get that later if I actually go down this roadway. Okay, so it's after I start kind of curving back to the right, after I start curving to the left here on I-5, so it's not far. Just want to... keep my eyes peeled for it to show up on the route advisor. Yeah, I saw it for a moment. It was there on the route advisor. I'm going to go ahead and get into the left lane, even though I'm going slower than the car speed limit, just because I want to get as close as I can to the photo trophy. Yep, we're getting closer. We're almost to that optimal spot to nail it. Just about to the closest spot. That should do it. Okay. photo mode. I don't yeah, it would be on the other side. It would be on my left. San Diego skyline. Okay, I'll take that. Photo trophy captured, San Diego skyline.
Keep left.
Now, what is the rest of my route here? I'm going to... yeah, a lot of stuff that's unexplored. All the way until I get about here. In Los Angeles itself. Oh, so I haven't been to this rail export. Okay, I must have been thinking about the rail export in... so I think that'll actually be pretty easy. I might even be able to nose into the spot. We'll see. Should I talk about? Los Angeles. I remember one time when I was in college, I started thinking about planning a road trip from I think it was from Bryan, Texas, which is just next to College Station, Texas, which is a bit northwest of Houston, I think. I think Houston's the nearest big city to College Station. Anyway, so that's roundabouts where I was, and I was thinking about making a road trip to Los Angeles, California. And
keep right, and then turn right.
Let's see, do I want to be? Yeah, and so
turn right.
As I started looking at the maps that I had available, I think I was using MapQuest at the time. I'm pretty sure this was before Google Maps was ubiquitous. But yeah, I was looking at the possible route I might take, and I was kind of amused to see that starting from somewhere in about the middle of Texas and going to LA, when I got halfway, I would still be in Texas. El Paso, Texas is about halfway from Bryan, Texas to Los Angeles, California.
Keep right.
And there are
then exit right.
Still 2 whole states left to cross. Arizona and New Mexico and Arizona in that order.
Exit right.
So it's just like amazing how big Texas is. I never did end up taking that trip though, so I don't have that experience to share. I never have driven around LA. I've only kind of, I've never really been to LA, I should say. I've technically been inside the city limits, but only like landing at an airport, going to a hotel, and then going back to the airport to keep going. That's the most I've ever been in LA, so doesn't really count. And I think that's the only place in California I've ever been is LA, and then again, and even then, just for
Get ready to turn right.
layover for flight. So
Turn right.
now I have been to New Mexico. I went to Albuquerque for a fine arts festival when I was in high school, and that was really nice. It was for the Independent School Association of the Southwest, and that was, I believe, in the year, I don't know, maybe 2001 or something like that. And that was very, very enjoyable. And then, let's see, I have also been to Arizona. I visited some family there.
Go straight.
I believe it was Flagstaff, Arizona. But I didn't. I spent, I think, a couple of weeks there. And it was interesting. I don't remember much about it. I don't remember anything I really want to share about it. I had some interesting experiences, I guess.
Turn right.
And but I wouldn't remember the roads or anything. It wouldn't be familiar to me at all if I tried to explore it in American Truck Simulator. And I have. I mean, in American Truck Simulator, I have been all around Flagstaff. I've completely explored it in American Truck Simulator, but no part of it. I don't even know what part I was in when I visited. It was so long ago. Actually, I think I was very, very close to Route 66. I think it was like less than a mile from where I stayed. I stayed at a hostel, Dubois Route 66 International Hostel, and I did some work exchange there to pay for my stay. So that was nice. It's the only time I've spent in a hostel, and I like the idea. It's very cost efficient, very communal. You get to know people.
Go straight.
And when you stay there as long as I did, which was still only a couple of weeks, but it's still a lot more than most people would spend there, you get to see a lot of people coming and going. And that was nice.
This is where it ends.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I probably will need to back into this one. I see how this one works. It's not the toughest. It's not especially tough. The worst thing about this particular parking job is how little space there is in front. And you can also see there's that yard truck right there that's blocking my way on that side. So it sucks, but it's not the worst. It may be about as bad as as that one with the ramp that I did earlier on this stream. I didn't notice that container. Right, I was focusing on the liquid container, the fluid container labeled Global Mills, and I didn't notice the boxy one right behind it. Ooh, so tight. If this were Driving Academy, I'd already have failed for gently bumping something, but thankfully this isn't Driving Academy. I really wanted to like the Driving Academy. I really wanted some help learning how to park, but it just didn't give me the help I needed. I did enjoy it to some extent, but it just didn't help me learn how to park. I already knew everything basically that I already do. Jesus. I'd say it kind of got me better at parking while only using the internal camera, but that's just excessively difficult from the beginning. It's not a challenge I want for myself because it's just too difficult, and it's not as enjoyable to look at either, in my personal opinion. There we go. But I do hear the Driving Academy section of the game does indicate there's more stuff coming. So that's good. I would like to see more. No Valentine gifts deliveries from Rail Export in Los Angeles. So let's look elsewhere in LA. Yes, from Home Store to AI Automotive in Bakersfield. Let's do that.
Let's get this job done.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see, what's my route to Home Store? Okay, it's pretty short. Just 3 miles. Should be no problem.
Go straight.
Okay. Speed limit 10. Not the slowest speed limit I've seen in this game. I've had to go as slow as 5 miles per hour through a way station. But that was because I was empty, and if I had been loaded, I would have had to go. There was a separate sign that indicated I would have had to go at most 3 miles per hour, and that would have been just torturous.
What are we waiting for?
We're waiting for the security check, Doug. There we go. There's 42 print in front of us, according to the
Keep
route
left,
advisor.
then turn left.
Ahead and to the left.
Turn left.
Yep, there's the sign for it. I can see one of my garages is here on the route advisor. I see it ahead and to the right. And it looks like I've never been there. Not since the Phase 4 of the California rework, at least. I must have been there before because not only did I explore everywhere before, but also I'm certain that I bought
Keep
all
right,
of the
and then turn right.
all of the garages and upgraded them all before I did that
Turn
100% exploration. So I must have already been there, but not anymore. I haven't.
Go straight. Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left. We're here. Right on time.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay. So I'll just turn around like this and then back up. I like the angled parking like that. It's so much easier to deal with than parallel or perpendicular parking.
Time to get the job done.
Okay, so now what's our route? Okay, we're going to get on I-10 East, I-5 North, California 14 North, gonna turn left at Mojave onto California 58 West, and there is AI Automotive in Bakersfield. 3 hours, 21 minutes. So it looks like this entire route is road segments I've already explored, which is fine. I'm not going to bother going out of my way trying to explore everything that's kind of nearby on the road, along the route. That would just be too complicated. I'd rather
Get ready to turn right.
just focus on getting the jobs done during the event.
Turn right.
And then afterward I'll go back to concerning myself with exploration. Ooh, I almost hit that stop sign.
Go straight. Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
I'm glad that the route advisor almost always gives you the right directions. I feel like I may have encountered one situation that it gave me an impossible turn or something due to a barrier. That's right. I remember it was in Nevada. There was an exit or a right turn that it said I could do, but I couldn't because of a barrier. But I could actually get to that spot by going around the barrier. It was, just an ill-placed barrier, essentially. And by barrier, I mean like one of those right in front of me, the floating X's. So yeah, route advisor's almost always correct. And I was just thinking about Google Maps, because Google Maps is also almost always correct, but Google Maps occasionally has problems. Like, when I drive from my wife's workplace back home,
Go straight.
there is a particular intersection where Google Maps tells me to turn left, but that's impossible because there's a median on the road to which it wants me to turn. So if I get to that point, I have to turn right. What I usually do instead is I take a slightly different route to get to that same road so that I can turn left where there isn't a median. And I guess that used to be a valid course, a valid route, a valid turn earlier in Google Maps life, because I found by checking Street View, like, you can see on the satellite view
turn left.
that there's a median there.
Turn left.
On the, just regular map view, you don't see any kind of median. It's clearly visible on the satellite view, and if you go to Street View, there is one spot right, in the middle of the intersection, or on the, the side of the T that is exactly opposite of the road that ends, that where the picture is from 2011, and in that picture you can see that there was no median, so you could have made a left turn at that time. But apparently between then and when the next set of pictures were taken, if you take any step in any direction from that spot in Google Maps Street View, it jumps forward in time to 2023, and at that point the median does exist. Now it's not obvious that you can do this, but you can actually submit map corrections to Google Maps for them to fix. The problem is, to prevent people from abusing the system, somebody has to review and approve every single submission that they get for map edits. And so it can take a very long time for them to get around to fixing it. And I don't remember how long ago it was, probably a few months now, that I submitted a correction for that intersection. Technically I submitted it as 2 corrections because the way it works is you have to go in under Google Maps on like a desktop web browser. There is a section where you can like click the hamburger and you see more options, and then there's like edit map or something like that somewhere on there, and then you can zoom in on the spot you want and make specific selections of specific segments of a single road. And the problem with that is my problem with the road was a specific intersection not allowing left turns. It wasn't that there was a road closure, and it wasn't that like there was an extra road or anything like that per se. And so I there wasn't something that specifically let me say no left turn here. So what I did was I submitted it as 2 different corrections. One was a correction on the road that ends at a T there, and just the very last segment of it, and I selected that segment and I indicated, heading this direction into the T, it's not possible to turn left because of the median on the road that doesn't end. And but I consistently get directions telling me to turn left there. And then I also selected,
turn right,
for as a separate submission, I selected the 2 segments of the road that didn't end immediately on either side of that intersection. And for that I gave like the same description and submitted that at about the same time. And I hope that someone reviews it, and because I'm soon, I hope they review it soon, and I'm certain that if they do review it, they will approve it, because it is obvious from not only the satellite imagery, but also from, the more recent photos of the area from Street View. Almost every photo from Street View that is current it shows that what was I saying? It shows that median is there. So my destination has a rest stop right next to it, but that's 2 hours and 12 minutes away. I might be able to get some rest faster if I go to this rest stop. Yeah, because that's only 1 hour and 32 minutes away. So I think that's what I'll do, because my priority is to get rest as soon as possible. So that's what
Get on with it.
But yeah.
Keep right, and then exit right.
After you've made an edit to Google Maps,
Exit right.
You can check back on Google Maps. You go to the same like little hamburger button and see options, and I think there's something for your like where you look at, I don't think it's called My Places. I'm pretty sure there is a thing called My Places, but I don't think this is what I'm trying to describe is that. I think there's something near it though that lets you see stuff that pertains to your personal profile with Google Maps, and one of the things is My Edits, I think, and that's where you can see like the status of your edits and whether they've been submitted, approved, like whether they're approved, pending, or rejected. Like, one unfortunate thing about it is it doesn't tell you what your edits were. It's very, very vague. There's no specificity. It just says, like, road edit. So you have no idea what part of what road was edited or how. You just know when it was submitted and the broadest possible category of what kind of edit it was, like whether it was a road edit or a business edit, I think. And because you don't get to see any details, it's kind of frustrating if your edit gets rejected, which is what happened to me. It was years ago. I have no idea what I submitted. Maybe it was a business update or something, but whatever it was that I submitted, I can see that it got rejected. And, I kind of wish I knew what it was. But, yeah, the edits that I most recently made a few months ago are still pending. And one thing I kind of wish they would do is, I totally understand and agree that they should manually review every submission before they update all of Google Maps for everyone to, reflect the new traffic rules or road closure or whatever. What I would like as an option, though, is
Keep
for
right,
it to
and then turn right.
would be for it to accept, like, my submission for my profile specifically. Like, I get that, you don't want to let me mess up other people's navigation, but let me make edits for my own navigation. I'd like it so that my submission will immediately take effect when I try to navigate using my personal Google profile. Because, then nobody could possibly be harmed but myself. And it will have been my own doing if I do that. And I could always, and if it's set that way, it would also be good and convenient for there to be a way for me to undo that edit, to retract it while it's still pending before it's approved or rejected. But, like, from what I could see, there's not even a way to retract a submission. Like, even if I, like, between now and when somebody gets around to examining it. Okay, so cool. I'm going to get a little bit of exploration when I come out of the rest stop and come back west towards Bakersfield. Up through there. Anyway, I think it would make sense for me to be able to retract a submission before it's reviewed, because why not? Like, it's not like they were going to review it if I hadn't submitted it in the first place. And if I come to the realization after submitting it that it was a mistake to submit it, then it would make sense for me to, for them to let me save them some time. Like, if I just messed around with it and made a bad submission on purpose or something, like, just to see how it worked, that's the kind of thing I should be able to immediately retract so I don't waste anyone's time reviewing it. But they don't let you do that. Once you submit it, it's in the queue, I guess.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
So we're coming into a rest stop because we were tired. Next rest stop in 26 minutes. Our fatigue gauge is red and full. So let's go ahead and take care of this. Whoops. I'm going to cozy on right up next to this gallon oil truck. It won't let me get very close because of that emergency brake thing. It keeps setting off the... there we go. Hang on. I want to get it very straight. Okay, there we go. $14 hours to the next rest stop, so we're all good. Oh, there was the moon. You can see the moon right there. It looks like a crescent. I don't know whether it's waxing or waning, though. I used to be able to read that just by looking at the moon. I took an observational astronomy course in college, and so one of the many things about which we learned in that course was the phases of the moon. And
turn left.
So we learned, like, basically the way you can tell whether the moon is waxing or waning is which side of it is lit up, the left or the right. I just don't remember which is which. Oops, I pressed G accidentally. I don't know what that does.
Get ready to turn right.
God, now I'm super curious. Okay, so that's just like reviewing my garages. Garage manager. I see. Driver manager. Oh yeah, look how many people I have that have a 10.0 rating. Like all skills, just all of them. I haven't looked at my my drivers in a long time. Are they all at 10? Is everyone? Okay, no, there are a couple of people who aren't perfect yet. Dollars per day, 0. Why is that? She's on the road now. Average profit per day, $0 per day. Average profit per distance, $0.00 per mile. Base wage, $462 per delivery plus $21.36 per mile. Status on road. Driven distance, 99,350 miles. How does she get 0 profit while having driven that much? I don't understand. Current trailer, not applicable. Finishes in, not applicable. How is that possible? I think there may be some sort of glitch going on there. Same thing here. Exact same thing. 9.2. Same rating. Same zeros. Same not applicable for current trailer and finishes in and profit per distance. So weird. I wonder why that is. Now this is 9.2, but no problems with everything else. Current trailer is not applicable, but has cargo. So his current trailer probably doesn't indicate like all like external trailers, if that makes sense. It probably only indicates if we're using a trailer that I own. This guy also looks okay. I wonder why it's all 9.2 specifically and not like some of them are 9.3 and some of them are 9.1. Here's a 7.5 that seems glitched. From is also not applicable. From and to finishes in are not applicable. How weird. Okay, well, pretty much everybody is really, really high up on skills. It would be tricky to, it would take a while to restore, to hire someone new and get them all the way up to even 9.2, or even that 7 something that I saw earlier. What was that? 7.5? Even that would take a long time to train someone up to that. So that's one reason I don't want to fire anyone, just so I can use a different car or truck, I mean. Show log. Yeah, she's made profit. So why doesn't it show up there? How weird. Let me look at that 7.5 lady. Emily Z. Yeah, she's made profit. Huh. It's weird. Okay, that was fun. Enough of that.
Turn right.
Rest area and half a mile. Excellent. That's what I want. No, wait a minute. I don't want that. I just finished resting. Jeez, what's wrong with me? I got so distracted I completely forgot what I was doing. Now I'm just going to pass up this rest stop. I'll visit it someday later, probably when I'm exploring. After this event is either completed or ends in failure, but I'm almost certain that we'll be successful. I've never seen the World of Trucks community fail a community goal, even when the goal is quite lofty, like with the Return to Winterland. Now I'm running out of fuel. Great. Jeez. Can I get here without going super duper way out of my way? That would be 25 minutes. Yeah, let's do that.
Pedal to the metal, man.
Now, I have somewhere to be in in a little over an hour and a half. I need to get ready for that. So, I'm going to wrap it up.
Keep right, and then exit right.
This is going to be my last delivery of the night for the stream.
Exit right.
I'm going to finish this delivery. I'm going to refuel. Then I'm going to finish the delivery.
Turn left.
And then I will check our progress on the Cupid's Express challenge.
Turn left.
I'll check to see if anyone has commented on any of my images on World of Trucks. And then I will end the stream and get ready to go drive somewhere in the real world. Pick my wife up from work, really. Okay, I don't want this first exit, not at all, so I'll stay in this lane.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Okay. Let's see, can I pull this off? It's not... I'm definitely going to be going over this curb. Thankfully there's no sign or anything that's going to be damaged. Ooh, no, I might be able to make it because I'm still going that angle. Very nice.
Turn right.
Okay.
Finding new route.
Alright. Filling up. I got the chassis with the largest possible fuel tank. Fuel tank is full. $4.96 per gallon of diesel is fairly expensive, actually, but you know, at one point I was able to fill up for less than $1,000. Alright, but hey, we now have a full 300-gallon fuel tank that can get us 2,205 miles. So, what am I going to do now? I want to go back out the way I came because that will save me some time rather than going forward and going out the other way.
Never mind. I'll find a new... Okay, let's find a new route. Keep right, and then turn right.
Oh no, jackknifed. Okay, I can do this. There we go. So now we are an hour and 10 minutes away from our destination, which is... I think it's AI Automotive in Bakersfield. Yes, that's correct.
Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
An hour left to AI Automotive in Bakersfield. And then I will do the advanced parking, and I will check our progress on the event, and I will check the comments on my images, and that'll be that for the night. Watch downhill speed. Trucks, I couldn't read that. There's this weird motion blur with the graphics in this game that I don't like. It makes it so that, like, if you go frame... Like, I've done this where I've recorded some video of my gameplay, and then I'll go back over it frame by frame, and the stuff on the side that's going by, like, you still can't read it. It's actually, like, even freeze framing it, it's a blur. Not not like a censorship blur or putting a weird blurry lens over something, but more like, I don't know how to describe it exactly. It's kind of sharp and jagged and just kind of off position somehow. I may not, I'm having trouble finding the right words, but that, I don't see the point in that. I feel like they would have had to go out of their way to make it do that instead of what I think happens with most games where there's, you know, something zooming by you. It
exit right.
Each individual frame is clear and legible. And if you can't make it out at normal speed, you could record it, play it back, and slow it down, and you could see it that way. But not really the way it works here. I also don't like how when I have my high beams on, like I do right now, there's so much glare off of some of the signs that it's really hard to read them. And I feel like that's actually needlessly difficult. Like, it's unrealistic. In my experience, when I drive with the high beams on, and I look at, you know, a speed limit sign off to the right side of the road, it is extremely clear because I guess the engineers who make those signs use an extremely dark pigment for the black parts, for the letters. So it's so dark that I don't get any reflection even with the high beams. And that's a brilliant thing. It's a really good thing that they're designed that way. Because it makes it so easy to read. But that's not how they do it in this game. Anyway, we're very close.
Straight.
Very, very close. It's up ahead on the right. Almost done. Stick with me here. You've stuck with me so far.
Right.
I'd love you to see the end.
Right.
I want to show off my parking skills or lack thereof.
Turn right.
Here we go.
Here we are. Safe and sound.
Where do you need it? Oh yeah, that'll be an easy one. I was worried they were going to make me tuck it into one of those nooks at the end. But no, this should be pretty simple. To nudge it over a little bit more before I turn it back. I might have to pull forward again a little bit to straighten this out with the truck. Yeah. That's okay though. I'll call that good enough. Oh, that's it. That's our last delivery of the stream. Job completed. Excellent. I'm going to save my game. I'm going to quit. Actually, someone asked me, Manny asked me, is this the old version or the new version? Let's see what version it is exactly. It is 1.53.2.5S, 64-bit. I believe that is the most current version. Okay, so now we're out of the game program proper. Let's see what things look like here. We're up to 474,726 deliveries out of 600,000 deliveries. My page. Let's see here. I'm looking for any comments added yesterday or today. Nope. So that's it for that. No new notifications on the forums. So I think we're good. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next one.